Yes, as we come to life here, twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman. Even old Athers beat us to the chat room this morning, wheeling and dealing. Subscribed as a tier 1 subscriber, man. As we were doing our off-camera shoot, saw that pop up in the chat. So old Athers first in the house tonight, super fanning. But, you know, as I combine on the juice from the mind, heal up, wheel up, bring it back, home rewind, powerful impact, boom from the cannon, and it's boom from Big Stevie Cool with the super kick, and it's boom with the lariat from Hacker Hamin Infidels as we set you up for the Friday locker room finish here at hackerhamin.podbean.com. Yalla! Woo-ha! Woo-ha and foo ain't nothing to fuck with, Stevie. It was a good night last night. Unfortunately, we were missing GGP and Big Salah for family purposes. But we had one of our favorite people on the planet join us again, and I think we both feel recharged and refreshed after talking to Tim Alberino. Good morning, Stevie.
Yeah, that was a great, just a great way to kind of reset us, because we were going through a few weeks of trying to retool the show, trying to figure out what would be next, instead of sounding like broken records with the same exact conspiracies coming around all the time. And I think with the Tim Alberino interview, we found maybe a new niche, still within the conspiracy realm, but really exploring into, like, I don't know, untold history, untold, like really maybe a bigger picture breaking down of the narratives and trying to break those walls of those.
Especially in that last quarter, the last third of the interview, he drops a bomb, dude, a big bomb on us of about alien existence of epic proportion, man. You know, and that stuff is what we're here for, to sit there and listen. And even if it's first-hand or second-hand knowledge, dude, this guy's out there putting in the miles. The legit Indiana Jones Tim Alberino, who wanted to come back and talk to the Horsemen, and I'm almost more proud of that. He's been off the radar. This guy's a top. You've seen him on Gaia. You know, we had him on when he was with Gen 6 Productions. I think they had some falling out. Shocking. Christians hating each other. But you know, with the Holocaust of the Giants, just one of our favorite episodes ever. And then Stevie brought it up to him. We were worried about him. You've heard us talk about him because he went kind of radio silent while he was down in Peru for 5 months in a machete war. And so there's a lot on this episode, you guys. Look forward to it dropping here with the Friday Locker Room. Conspiracy Horseman Tim Alberino returns.
Hey, I like Tim for a lot of different reasons. First of all, you know, like, to know that, like, we have a lot to learn. Like, it's great. We look at it as a positive when we realize what dumb fucks we are.
Yeah.
But with Tim also, I mean, I can't even, you know, we were in the moment, but looking back on last night, and I'm telling everybody, please listen to the entire episode or watch it back on Twitch or YouTube. Tim, like, dropped what was the word bombshell has been so overused,
Yeah,
and underdelivered. This did not underdeliver. When he talked about the alien skull that was found down there in Peru and what happened, and just the inside information, locker room information of somebody pulling him aside.
yeah.
and he broke down the entire disinfo campaign in plain sight. That's the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Placing people to purposely discredit it, putting the goofs, the backyard scientist into the you know, the public eye, to really discredit anything with this. And, like, he was a naysayer. He said, he goes, I just hoax, and then got, like, pretty much turned around 180 with that guy pulling him aside.
How'd you like to have to be one of Alberino's kids? You ain't winning no arguments in that house, bro. Like, it's just going to be a long, drawn-out conversation where at the end you're just, you're like, oh, okay.
Can you imagine, though, being, like, we talk about being on the road, can you imagine being in Peru for 5 months and leaving your family, and then your family really probably doesn't have a whole lot of contact with you, and you come back telling these stories about machete wars and the mafia and these crooked cops.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And that's why I'm so honored to have him back on our show, because Sure, archaeology and the quest for what he's looking for, big in the Andes Mountains with Pumapunku and all of the ley lines and the ancient alien theory, and obviously his quest for giants. I mean, archaeology can be a slow, methodical, pain in the ass process of dealing with locals, especially if you don't know the language, and then you got to pay off tribes people, and then word spreads there's gringos with money, and then things get all fucked up again, and like all that goes on. Like, that's not the sexy stuff, but if you're talking about a legit real life motherfucking Indiana Jones, this guy is it right here, man. I mean, from the looks to going out there and leaving their family. What do you say? He had malaria and yellow fever 5 times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the not sexy side, but that's the fucking reality of, I'm not going to be an armchair quarterback and sit online and think I know what the fuck is going on with ancient alien theory because Tsoukalos said it might be true. When this is the guy who's going to Peru to find old ruins, to find deep underground bases that aren't military, that could be ancient civilization, alien, like a lot of different things, man. And looking for Inca gold, lost gold, all that shit that the jungle ate up. And he's doing it real big with big teams, LiDAR and
a billionaire behind him, just like National Treasure.
Yeah, dude, just deal. Like the whole deal, man. It might not come off as sexy as a 90-minute movie, but that's what 5 months of work takes to get close to something like that. And for him to come on Horseman, man, that's just fucking awesome, dude. I can't be happier than that.
The thing too about Tim is, and I was joking, but I wasn't joking. We were ribbing him a little bit, but it was all like truth, talking about like, dude he's going to be, what it looks like is bringing whatever he found or whatever his adventures are to TV.
Yes.
It might have a documentary, might have a TV series. It'd be like our show, but good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Inca Gold, always goes. It's the Overgold Shug, not the Java Gold in the Nevada desert
you're the same as
New York desert.
You're the same as you ever were, Shug. Look at you.
Yeah. But we got to talk about that today. But with Tim, it's one of the few times. Bill Burns was probably another one, but it's one of the few times where he could have talked for an hour straight and I would just listen. It's like legitimately not only being in a locker room, but maybe being around a campfire and having him tell these stories.
And in a master's class at a university, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting all that feeling at once. I love that shit, man. And I think that's what they love about it too, because everything else they're going to be is for, and then the quest for ancient alien gold, or fucking some shit that's on the fringe where somebody's trying to be a character in that, where we're the wrestlers in the locker room. What the fuck do we got to do? We don't have to show and prove for them. So I think that's the draw that McAfee, that Vinny Paz, that Bill Burns, like that's our hook without us having to try and do it. That's just who we are, man. I'm loving that shit. Sorry to cut you off again.
No, not at all. You want to talk about an eloquent speaker too. We can talk forever, and I've written about that. But dude, I'm legitimately saying, like, on these videos that you look it up on YouTube, look up Tim Alvarino. You'll have the Luciferian video, which is a famous one. You'll have other ones where he talks. And I swear to God, I'm an editor. No, I don't see any jump cuts. I don't see any transitions.
No.
He is legitimate. Just like last night, he would talk. He had the right cadence, the right pause, and being somebody that like looks to do voiceover, looks to do narration, looks to be a host of something. And we always look to go do better with what we're doing now. That guy's on like high level stuff. So if he does a conference and speaks, that fucking, there's no paper on that podium. He's just talking.
No, dude, not at all. He's so well versed and well researched. And as an improviser, I dealt with many of the highest level minds where I just sit back and I'm like, God damn it, I'll never be that smart. So I like to study how people, especially in patterns and how they do things when I know them and they explain things. He's a very exceptional case because you ask him a question, he instantly is intrigued by it, but his process to get to his answer, if the question starts here, he takes a long loop around, which is not, let me teach you a lesson. It's let me give you what's happened to me or the research I have, all the way to come back to your question to answer it in the frame of what my answer is bigger than just one sentence. You know what I mean? So that I was very intrigued by that. It's like all I could think of is like a hot air balloon where the question is the basket or his mind is, and it goes out and it takes this big loop, but it comes back all the way around that way. You know what I mean? To the origin again. That's pretty impressive when you can give a 13-minute answer off one question and teach an entire lesson around that to get back to the point. A lot of people will trail off, especially us with CTE, when we get on a tangent, but it seems in that instant when he knows what he wants to answer to you, there's also a big qualifier attached to it to show you that his answer that is one line is so backed up with rich information.
Absolutely agree.
I love studying minds like that, dude. Just to watch how they work. Not even, I mean, the answer is brilliant, but I was like, and I watched him do it 3 or 4 times last night. It's very impressive. And what else is very impressive is 19 people here in the chat for the Friday Locker Room. Old Adler's first in there. My man Brendan is in the house, man. JB Railsford, Justin French, Bro Rocker, Macho King, Citizen Slim, Heim, Ziggy Balls, all interacting in there, you guys. SJ Dub, Gimmick, Force Flex, 18, code Stevie 5 from the XFL sidelines. You guys at your Friday fucking locker room here at Hacker Hamin. Shug, you ready to do this?
I'm ready. I'm ready to be part of the jobber headlines, but you can read the over headlines.
Okay. You don't want to start out with a jobber headline?
Let's start out with a little bit of what little social media I'm left on.
Yeah.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, sure, man. That just popped me. You put out what was the post on that?
It was a picture from my wife started taking photography again, and she was taking pictures of me in the gym. And obviously I thought it looked like dog shit, but my wife thought it was be a good picture. And I was just standing by the Monster G6 rack. I hear a code Stevie 5, right? So
yeah.
Don't leave out the virus.
There you go.
So, but took the picture and I put up just a post it, not that I like can't go anywhere without my tummy tea or, like always believe or shit like that. But just showing people that like, I can't remember. Let me look it up. What the fuck's wrong with me? But basically, it was just like really trying to, I said, I wake up every day grateful for the ability to still work out at 48 plus years old. It's just letting people know that like on a bigger scale, you can wake up with a positive or a negative attitude. That doesn't mean I'm not hurting. It doesn't mean that there's not even a choice. It's not even like I go, man, I really have to push myself to work out. It's like I get up and it's like, there's no negotiation, no debate, no compromise. The workout has to be done or my day is going to be shit. There's really no choice. So, and really the injuries that I had throughout my career, which I thought were a curse, and this is part of many, many interviews and videos I put up, turned out to be the biggest blessing because I wouldn't be able to create the programs if I wasn't using resistance bands at a hotel, using resistance bands to rehab injuries just to make myself look as TV ready as possible, or just baseline it to where I don't go down and not look TV ready.
Right.
And then time and money and all that stuff throughout the years. That's why I have it. So I just wanted to throw that post out there, and I like the picture. My wife did a good job. She edited, threw some black and white in.
Killed it.
Didn't add
great.
Muscle. I told her, no, she doesn't.
You don't
like
need to add
anyway.
Muscle. How much more fucking muscle do you need in that picture?
I need less of whatever's in my midsection. That's the 48 plus.
Sure.
And you got guys my age in wrestling that people get on, and you know what I mean. I never want to be part of the.
Jericho took his shirt off last night, and it was 2 minutes before they were fucking on him on Twitter, dude.
Oh, I didn't see. I didn't watch the show.
In the go home, they beat the shit out of fucking Ambrose and stunt on him, just like it's a straight shot at the dog food Usos thing because they're like trying to pose down with him and shit and get the picture. They're just knocking each other off or whatever, but he takes his shirt off, I think, just as a fuck you to the fucking peanut gallery. You know what I mean? I mean, he's not nearly as lean as he would or could or should be, but who gives a fuck? This guy's put his time in and he's still jacked, even though he's, dad bod kind of fit. I'd like to see him on Stevie Richards Fitness and as lean and as fucking good as you look in that picture. That'd be awesome.
Well, thank you. When you get in your 40s and 50s and beyond or whatever, the only one that doesn't is Billy Gunn for some reason, but you have to fight off
for some reason.
For some reason, you have to stubborn. I don't know. I don't work for Dr. Black or anything. I don't know what's going on. But when you look at that, you're just like I looked at matches like the match with PJ Hawks and other ones, and yeah, it's hard to get that midsection to have the V tapered. Even if you do diet, it's hormonal. It's things like that. And obviously, Jericho's a rock star too, and probably, doesn't get proper rest, probably goes out and has a good time, enjoys his spot and wherever he's at. That's his choice. But the only thing with health and fitness and nutrition is you're going to get out of 100% of what you put into it. So if you don't put 100% into it, you're going to get the less than 100% return. My thought is I want to look exactly or better than I do in 8x10s from 10, 15, 20 years ago. That's what I want people at the table to go, holy shit, this guy looks even better because I actually have a product I need to sell.
Sure. Well, you're not living off of a past glory, and like, sure, your name from all that work is there, but when they see you, it's a new version.
It's a novelty to people.
An updated version. You're not just, trying to do the same old shtick.
It's such a novelty to see a wrestler that's not degrading over time, whether it be socially, in public settings. We're known for being complete fuck-ups. Now, you and I and Popping On and Sal still don't fit in the normal society. We're still leaning towards the other, but we definitely don't go to that end of the spectrum of, you can name any wrestler, I won't name them, but they're ones that really screw up. And you give it to Jericho too, who takes that money and helps other guys out. He has been known to do that and give money. So he's a heel. He can take his shirt off, and if you hate him for it and you make fun of him, right, he understands that's what a heel does.
I think what he might start doing, and I hope he does. I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's like a rebirth thing. So it's not to hit rock bottom. He's the champ. He's the fucking man. But like, if you're gonna do the drunken beat up rock star, Van Halen, fucking all those dudes, right? Like, they replaced their singer, and like all those guys just like look beat to piss. Brett Michaels, you see him on a state fair tour or whatever, they look like shit. Like, Jericho could go that way and look like bloated Jack Champion. You get a hot young property like at MJF, where if you were to turn him baby again or what have you, where they can talk shit and he can make fun of them, take the strap off him, Jericho goes away, comes back insane shape, you know what I mean? Like, you could do that, because the rebirth that way would look awesome after looking like an old bloated rock star.
Yeah.
But anyway, on that picture...
Okay.
There was a sweet little message on the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know if it would. You can always misinterpret text or anything that's written. So I'm wondering if Dixie Carter, who had commented on that picture saying haven't changed a bit, was like the little jab back because of the famous story, at least famous to us, of when we were with EV2, and I had been angling in a good way, angling for a new contract, which I didn't have one to begin with. I came in from WWE, obviously with no name power or star power or anything, because they jobbed me out for like ever. You know what I mean? So I wanted to completely erase the name Stevie Richards, be Dr. Stevie.
See, here's the guys.
So brought me.
Sorry, guys, stop you right there on that point.
Well, I just didn't want to be a WWE reject. I wanted to start completely over and get over or succeed or fail.
But I don't think it's because you don't have a name. I think it's because you were coming from WWE, and and this is me speculating. You're the one who lived it. Fucking that they want to do what WWE does to EC3 and Bobby Lashley now, of let's fucking make sure this guy doesn't have value, to show that WWE isn't shit. Not that Stevie Richards isn't shit, but like, that's part of being part of the wrestle war. That, I mean, I don't have to explain that to fucking you, of devaluing a guy Not because it didn't seem like you didn't have value. You were coming off right to censor. It was fucking very.
No, but that was 8 years removed.
It don't matter.
In
It's in your
2008,
it's in your lexicon, bro. You have. I'm saying you paint yourself as a valueless property. I think the reason for the burial is because of a fuck you to WWE, not because people don't think you were this, that, and the other.
Well,
So,
there wasn't necessarily a burial. WWE buried me enough; they didn't see. They you know, as a matter of fact, on the renewed. That's why I could still be Stevie Richards on my.
In the fans' eyes, it was never like that. I just want you to know.
I understand, and it's a different time.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know how I had ECW, so I didn't have the whatever the opposite of the benefit. I had the benefit of ECW. Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins, other guys are more. They look like more factory properties of WWE.
They are.
I had a life before I got there on TV, so people can look at that. Even WCW to an extent. So, going to TNA, there's a collaborative effort to say this character is dead. You're Dr. Stevie. Start from scratch. Nobody ever gets that kind of second chance really today to repackage like that. So I was brought in. Many guys were brought in to basically go with the super cheap deal. They probably still kind of lure them in with that at Impact. The super cheap deal, the Prove It deal, nightly. Whatever it was, $500 a night, I think I was getting. And just if I got booked and worked, I got paid. So I did the angle with Abyss, and I got it. In my job, I said, they go, well, your job's to get Dr. Stevie over. I go, no, my job's to make Abyss a monster again because you guys have watered him down so much. And they agreed. Russo was the one writing these things, by the way. So you can hate or love that for whatever, but he's the reason that Dr. Stevie got over. And I executed his bullet points and what he wanted. So I got it over. We had the match finally at Victory Road, and I got color and everything, which is really was even at that time not really happening a whole lot in 2009. The taser thing at the end, all that stuff. You can think whatever you want, but people will remember it. I got over with that, and I went to Terry Taylor, and they agreed, hey, we should put you under a new deal. You proved it. This is when we usually give you, a decent pay or, 3-year deal or whatever. That didn't come because as time went on, they were trying to get Hogan and Bischoff and Rob and Jeff Hardy. This was going on for a little bit from my understanding. They took me out being a heel that can make baby faces. And I know this is a long story, but I want to give you the whole, like you say, lexicon of the path. As I go, and I'm working harder, and then we're good. I'm getting reunited with Raven, which is a whole new spin on Raven and Stevie. We have a girl with Daphne. We have all this stuff going on that's interesting. We're fighting Mick Foley. We're getting Kurt Angle into the mix. We got Abyss back into the mix. This was kind of like ECW-ish, where everything was kind of crossing universes again.
I loved it that time, man. I was way into it because I was like Raven and Stevie together. Fuck yeah, again, because I followed it each time through each fucking fed, right? Like now here it is again. I like that shit. So go ahead.
Totally different look, totally different feel, totally different spin.
Yeah.
Evolution,
it
was really
evolved.
reinvigorating.
Yeah.
And we were both in better parts of our lives and careers where we could be more equals on different levels, different situations in and out of the ring. So that runs in their opinion, that runs the course. I still thought I had another year or two because I hadn't worked every baby face. I hadn't worked programs. The heel was a heel that could stay strong even with losing the Dr. Stevie character. But Dixie had her toy of the month with the EV2 crew, and Dreamer was doing the Hardcore Justice pay-per-view. I wanted to do a long angle where I don't even remember these guys. I don't even know who these guys are. Like, I'm completely, like, I've suppressed my past, and they're trying to bring it back to me. It's kind of interesting.
It very is. Yeah, that's very interesting.
But I'm a heel, and I'm actually managing guys they're fighting. So, but they didn't like the idea, and she just plugged me in as Stevie Richards, and here I am, like, hating it, really hating it, because you watered me down, and now I'm just a rah-rah EC guy that I never wanted to be. There's no interest in that.
They're raping the corpse once again, putting them
pretty
all
much.
Yeah.
The short-term shit instead of having this long-term thing, or having me as a heel work the ECW guys and get them over.
Sure.
So you have a whole bunch of stuff here. And then during the course of this whole thing, I still don't have my deal. I'm working part-time jobs, actually more full-time than TNA. And I keep asking Terry, and Terry goes, it's really up to Dixie. I go to Dixie a few times asking her for a new deal in whatever way I could. And then at the end of the thing, the last thing that she said was, and it's such a long story, but just the thing that grated me at the end, after all the stuff and working hard and getting in the best shape of my life, naturally, with no drugs or anything, just hard work. Eric Bischoff used to watch me doing my second workout, which would be like a Kempo X from Beachbody or yoga or a band workout or something outdoors, because I would get a free tan that way. And he would always comment. He was like, dude, nobody works harder than you. And that I can debate that, but I wanted that deal. I was trying to work for it. Like any professional athlete or entertainer on the Prove It deal, your contract year is a big year. So I finally go up to her, and I don't know what sparked it, but I said, Dixie, I got to be a little bit pushy about this because it's been this long. I'm still on this supposed Prove It deal. I feel like I proved it. And I want to tell you, just for your brand's sake, do you know what I do when I leave here after a pay-per-view and TV? And she goes, no, what do you do? And I go, I go and I interview and I look for jobs. And she goes, part-time jobs? And I go, no. This is the part-time job. I go, that would be my full-time job. And I go, and I don't think it looks good to have a guy or even the X Division guys working jobs after someone's seen them on TV. And she's like, oh, really? And I go, I'm not even asking for a lot of money. I'm asking for a living wage. So maybe a semi-prove it deal so I can prove and earn my next deal. Yeah. I gotta fucking bow down like that. She looks at me and looks me up and down and goes, well, Stevie, and it means it in the sweetest way. And this is where Shug comes from. Stevie, you have to understand the way I look at it. You're kind of old and broken down. I got about fucking 7% body fat at this point. I look to my left and right to see if fucking Sabu or Raven or Dreamer are standing behind me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that's, once again, I'll show you, you'll see comes out, but there's no showing anybody or seeing anything because the fucking owner of the company thinks you're worthless. And that's why in January 2011, the first time I ever quit a job in wrestling, I went in and asked for my release to Terry, to Russo. Dixie was at a meeting with Hogan and Bischoff for 3 to 4 hours. Wouldn't even come out for me to say goodbye to her or Hogan and Bischoff. I'm not saying they were in there like hiding or anything, but didn't even bother to give me the time. And I'll never forget that. So that little thing, I'm sure she's heard the interviews and I'm sure she'll somehow hear this. Dixie, I don't suffer from CTE yet. I've never done drugs. I don't drink. I've never been in an impaired situation to remember most things differently. Everybody has their own take on stuff, but I was making sure that I had every quote, body language, what I said, what you said, and everything lined up. And that's the 100% truth. I have no reason to lie because it puts me in a position to look stupid and look like I keep getting worked over the course of 2 years. Right? It doesn't benefit me to tell that story.
No, but at the same time, I'd also like
the boys though.
It's just the ultimate truth of how wrestling works that the fans will never know, of what needs to be gone through. A Prove It gig for a guy who's been in the big three already and made his name every time, and then the look up and down because you're rolling with Hogan and the Bish and you got bigger plans and you're marginalized at that time. Now let's check the timestamp.
I skipped a step too. I skipped a step where the time before that. Sorry. She said they didn't have the money to pay me and it wasn't in the budget. That day, Hogan, Bischoff, Rob, Jeff Hardy, you spent about $2 million in salary on those guys. So that's
and you gotta argue over a crumb, dude, and be looked up and down. Now I was gonna say, now let's go back to that YouTube or the Facebook where she posted yesterday. Looking, what was it?
Haven't changed a bit.
Haven't changed a bit. Now, that could be the covert slam, but I don't think it's not, because I don't think she plays on that highest level of being a demon. I like to see when that was posted. That could have been an 11 p.m. triple Chardonnay, and now you went from you're old and broken down to, God damn, he's in my spank bank. Give me that fucking Pinot Gris and close the door on your way out.
So what you're saying is she owes me money either way.
Yeah. Now she's looking at you, fucking muscles dripping, fucking jacked as fuck, going, ooh la la. I'd like some of that shit right there. Oh, how the tables have turned in the reality of who gets it and what the real deal really is. And I don't find that to be a covert shot. I find that to be some thirsty old fucking cougar trolling that turned into something else.
If I had Twitter, she'd be sliding into my DMs.
Dude, that pops me either way, Suge. That shit pops the fuck out of me.
Oh God, I don't know. You give me too much credit, man. I don't know if that's what
I think it's as simple as that, Briz. I think it is as simple as that.
Hopefully the chat room and everybody enjoyed that story.
Yeah, fuck them. I sure as hell enjoyed it.
I'm sure that'll be clipped somewhere and she'll be tagged on Instagram.
And she's probably happy to stay relevant. She probably misses being.
How many times do we talk about how she should be there with EC3 and WWE? She should
100.
be buying tea. Like we say what you will about the problems we have with people or whatever disagreements, but when it comes down to business, we push all that shit aside because if we're in a position to help a company make money, we're going to. That's our job. We're analysts now. I mean, it sounds like a fancy sports broadcaster term, but we really do analyze this stuff and we throw names out there that can legitimately, we don't have to be around you and work with you. We can put you in spots without dealing with you. Yeah. We don't want that. But
yeah, I met her twice and I didn't have long interactions with her, but she was super sweet to me both times. And I'm down with that sexy MILF shit, so that shit pops the fuck out of me. Yaloski, man. So here we go. ProWrestling.com. Also, Carlos Astorga and his independent wrestling, sharing our stuff. Gorilla Position. William Alicia, our own Hamin Media Group news specialist, and everybody interacting over there as we do all the fun stuff in the pay-per-views. We actually got a thing going on right now for Black History Month, Stevie, from Adam Rivera. He had picked up some autographs. He's got an ECW one with a bunch of signatures on it. We're going to do something later with that maybe. But he's got a Rocky Johnson Sr. autographed 8x10. And for do hashtag Black History Month, hashtag, this one's important, as The Rock said, Trailblazer, and tag at Hamin Media Group. And just share one of our podcasts, one of your favorite ones, whatever it is, doesn't matter. We're trying to spread the word. At the end of the month, we're going to take and look at all those hashtags, especially hashtag Trailblazer and tagging at Hamin Media Group. And then we're going to choose from that pool one person to win that Rocky Johnson Sr. autograph, man, to honor the Rock's dad.
Very nice.
So, yeah, well, thanks to Adam Rivera for doing that, and we're going to keep going with that. So if you guys want a shot at that, just keep tweeting out different. I'm not saying there's a cap on it. I mean, don't go completely ape shit, but if you want to tweet out a couple shows and give yourself a couple entries, I don't have any problem with that. And we'll check them all at the end of the month when I'm beating the shit out of Joe Pimentel on the day that time forgot and the beating that will last forever, February 29th at Bordertown Wrestling. Oh, shit. Three major names, being reported for WWE Hall of Fame Class 2020. The iconic Jushin Thunder Liger will be inducted into WWE Hall of Fame this April, according to WrestleVotes on Twitter. Joining the Japanese high-flying legend will be reported none other than the Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie. The headlining acts already announced for 2020 Hall of Fame will be the Animal Dave Batista and the collection of Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman, all representing the NWO. Liger is arguably the most influential high-flyer wrestler in the last 30 years in the business, possibly ever. He retired from in-ring competition in the Tokyo Dome just this January, competing in his two final matches at Wrestle Kingdom 14. Bella Twins have been with WWE since 2007. When they were signed to developmental contracts and placed in FCW, they've collectively won the Divas Championships 3 times and have gone on to become both top stars and executive producers for both Total Divas and Total Bellas. I gotta say it. Why, how, and what the fuck are the Bellas going into the Hall of Fame for, bro?
Vince said yes. That's it.
You're making a rib of your entire premise of the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. I started in 2007 at developmental as well, to the end of 2006, 2007, going down to visit, dude. I couldn't imagine, even if I fucking got on the road, like in a 11, I would be embarrassed to be in the Hall of Fame, like jumping people in line, you know, like that, dude. That it's just not like I give any stock to this phony shit anyway, but like, really, man? Like, if they won't do this, what if they declined it and gave it to somebody more deserving? Like, that would be an honorable thing to do, you know what I mean? But like, this shit is just like, makes me not even want to watch it.
They're a different generation though, because that's just, once you get that, you can never give it up, because that's attention that you starve for. You just talked about, you know, we talked about off air a little bit of that thirst for that, and how it's such a black hole of just trying to chase that high of getting, you know. And I think on the WWE side, I think it's only a ploy to push Total Divas, to have a Total Divas Hall of Fame episode or episodes. It's content. I mean, what else can they do with them?
I guess, but dude,
I'm not saying that's right, but the whole Hall of Fame is bullshit.
How do you name your top? Give me your top 3 Bella moments of all time. One,
we're about to get one if they don't give them a script. That would be great. That would be the one unscripted. Oh my god! Yeah, like what's that amazing?
It's amazing. Fucking failed. Here's mine. Failed proposal to John Cena. My buddy Package, who's an NXT ref, Chris Sharp, in the background for the NXT or for the Brie Bella "You Bitch" on Stephanie McMahon, the slap, and he did the big fucking face, and then that was like on everything because Package made that fucking scene. That's number 2. Number 3, there is no number 3. there is nothing that I remember.
About the dive?
The one where she stacked her neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Number 3, you stacked your neck. So just some brilliant things of like, dude, how does this get through quality control and like give any more credibility to what you're trying?
What is quality control there? Dude, can you really put mostly anybody who is in the current generation into the Hall of Fame? From where outside of like active guys like Randy Orton or Dolph Ziggler or other people, who can you put in it? It's literally like the stock market. We have to have let's talk NFL Hall of Fame that they keep putting more and more people in. Like, it's not just exclusive to WWE. We need a quota of a number of people so we can sell out the actual event.
Was there anybody in that Super Bowl opening of the top 100 players you were like, fuck that guy, don't belong?
I mean, we could debate current guys like Eli Manning and other ones.
No, he don't belong. He belongs in the bottom of the lake. That's where he belongs.
Well, I'm just saying, but he's going to get in the Hall of Fame because it's just
Super Bowl.
You know, and maybe they'll have it at the bottom of the lake and you get both your wishes. Dude, what all this does is, instead of getting mad about the Bellas being in this prestigious Hall of Fame, is the fact that it is not a prestigious Hall of Fame. It still does not have a physical building like all the other Hall of Fames, which is easy to do at the Performance Center, easy to do at Full Sail. Even if you rent out a warehouse and you put it all in there and charge people tickets for it.
Dude, it should be a major interactive thing, like museum walk-through place where they have signings of legends to come every weekend before, or every week before NXT, so it's a fan interactive draw thing in Orlando. You know, you can almost go and watch it as a part where everyone's working out from an upper deck where they don't have to interact with the fans, but you get to see them, your WWE or NXT stars fucking doing their thing. All that should be going on, man. It's ridiculous that they don't have that, because then there really is no credibility. The Comedy Museum in Jamestown, New York, is a perfect example of what they should be trying to strive for, where you have Charlotte's fucking outfits from WrestleMania. You have, all the shit, the Rey Mysterio mask collection on display. You have, so people can pay $26, come through, and then pay another whatever to buy your NXT merch and go to your show, dude. They're just missing out. I don't know how somebody hasn't championed that. That should have been done 10 years ago.
I think it's just Vince's play thing, and then it grew to a point of having it at the arena, which I don't even know if they're going to do after the Bret Hart thing. I mean, it's a toss-up of what's going to happen this year with that, or if they're just going to bring them out, at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, will, the Revival get up to punch anybody out if they're not accepting their contracts and getting jobbed out? I mean, there goes your security right there.
You're really not happy about this whole Bella's Hall of Fame thing.
I'm on an unhappy streak because we started off so happy. I'm already pissed, but now this isn't on the sheets. But I had to tweet it out. You haven't watched AEW. There's a kid, hard cam, front row, center, where the green shirt guy or the long-haired WWE guy would sit, in a full goddamn Scooby Doo costume, bro. He's probably about 34, full beard, and if he's not on the spectrum or special needs, he's the biggest fucking loser I've ever seen in my life, dude. Like, if you were going with your bros, which it looks like he's got his buddies on either side of him, and fucking if they were dressed as the rest of the fucking gang or whatever from Scooby Doo and you're ribbing, fine. He's got a sign down there with like a Scooby-Doo cutout plus some other thing that says, I want to join the Dark Order, or Scooby plus AEW equals rating. So in my opinion, if he's not fucking half short bus and this motherfucker's trying to get over because he had fun at a Halloween party where everyone was laughing at him, now he thinks Scooby-Doo's his fucking thing. Dude, if that dude's just a normal dude, I want to fucking piss pummel that motherfucker. I cannot stand man children like that.
Is he a new version of the Bronies? Is this a Brony thing?
It might be, but dude, what a fucking loser. And you could even see it with dudes in the ring, because if they're trying to do something halfway decent, here's a fucking douche bomb in a fucking Scooby-Doo costume in every shot of your fucking show, dude. I would have pulled that motherfucker. I wouldn't dude, just pathetic, dude. And then they said, somebody goes, so he might be a worker, because this is where I'm like, nah, this ain't real. So I tweeted that out, and somebody hit me up afterwards, and they go, he wrestled as a tag team with Jesus after the show went off the air. That's a real sentence I just typed. That's from Kev_emo.
That's that Jesus episode where Jesus was there.
Was it? What?
Jesus, they had Jesus on there, and he was, it was like AEW Dark had some thing with the guy dressed like Jesus in the crowd.
Holy Christ on a fucking cracker. I go, that didn't happen. And then this other dude at Headlock Talk, he goes, it totally happened. So, dude.
It's a sport. The wins and losses really matter.
I put this in the Hamin media group with the AEW review. I was watching it. And even guys who are made, they're playing wrestler there. There's not many real wrestlers there. There's maybe 2, 3. And everybody else is playing wrestler. I don't care if they were Impact guys, if they were top guys in New Japan. They are playing wrestler. They're not being a wrestler. And it's coming through.
Well, what you need to do, there's an easy solution for this. If AEW is listening, the way you want to get him out of hard camera is to take his significant other and whip the shit out of him or her on TV. And then you can bring him back on commentary to talk about it as the person who beat the shit out of his significant other is wrestling in the ring. Get him off camera. Do you have a comment on that? You told me about that. I would thought that was really, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
If somebody beat the fuck out of my wife, I'm not going to sit there at their next beating and go, I don't know what she said, but what can you say besides trying to claw that motherfucker's eyes out?
Yeah, dude. Like, she comes out after the killing. We'll get to that story too. And like, just a lot of holes. And I got to record AEW Light the Fuse with Silvio after this, man, which I always look forward to. But, like, to let that fucking, I mean, so obviously he's not on the spectrum and he's a fucking super marker. He knows somebody. To let that guy sit there front row ringside your whole fucking show and not, like, if you're going to do some mark out shit and you're going to get some gimmick shit over, then somebody should have laid that motherfucker out second match and gotten him off fucking camera. And then he could have marked out and hung out backstage with Kazanaki and Hisho Jojo or whoever the fuck they're bringing out this week. I don't give a fuck. Like, it was
or just
bad.
give him a free AEW t-shirt to put on over it.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yep. Like, just pathetic. This man-child shit, I'm done selling for it. and I haven't watched it, but I saw Nyla Rose went over, and I'm almost done selling for all this transgender shit, dude. Like, the rules, I'm getting very close to being like, my PC fucking time is very close to being done.
Let's go to that next. But before I say that, did this guy have kind of Jim from Taxi hair and glasses on? Was this Tony Khan in the front row?
Dude, it seemed like very much like in that same vein, dude. Tape trader masturbator.
He likes wearing costumes.
Yeah. Well, they're almost doing it too much now that Chris Daniels is going to be the leader of the Dark Order or whatever. And now I think, like, because they're stooging it off so hard, it's so predictable, it might be Khan. Russo swerve, it's Khan.
Oh, the new NWO. The Dark Order, the New World Order, and he's the Bischoff. God, he's behind schedule. We thought by now he would have a TV role or a match. He's only booking the women's division. Which raises red flag right there. Saudi doing your little harem.
Yeah.
So, but what I was going to say too was the JR thing. It's from the group on Facebook. I saw that JR accidentally calls Nyla Rose King of the Mountain.
Yeah.
And then somebody I mean, even Animal, whenever he comments, I pop because he's like, well, why? Yeah, an Animal is in the group, so that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, dude. I try not to let people go in on him, but that does pop me when Animal comments in the Hamin Media Group because, a rib about whatever is safe space, but when Animal can fucking feel confident where he's just like, fuck this bullshit. and that's all he gets in, some little dig, and then he's gone for like 2 months when he just needs a place to vent during the show. It's funny to me that he's in the Hamin Media Group. Killer Cross. I mean,
this is the thing. What does JR do? Because the comments here basically said, like, he said that, and I didn't watch it, but then one time he called her a female, or is she? I mean, this is, you tell me about this. Like, what
it's tough for me, bro, because, well, I'm sorry, like, so she's just a cross-dresser. And, like, here's the thing, this LGBTQ, and I could easily get in trouble for all this because I don't know the ever-changing pronouns and shit. I'm finally to that point in my life of, like, all right, you're doing something over there. I'm old and it doesn't concern me, right? All my life up to about the last 2-3 years of I'm still in this generation because now what they've done is fucking ridiculous and I'm not 80 fucking different, 80 different genders. Fuck that.
It just feels like moving the goalpost all the time.
Right.
Like
and here I come from a theater background where homosexuality and fucking being brought up around plenty of gay performers was a big part. I mean, you don't have a lot of fucking straight dudes in musical theater, right? So except for me and maybe 2 others in the cast of like 20 sometimes, you know? So I always had a very fucking open-minded view of everything. And even performers I know and care a lot about have had gender reassignment surgery. Still got a lot of all the love I ever had for them and whatnot. So I guess in this weird way, it's me saying, I don't give a fuck, do what you want to do. But this push to fucking change the minds and change the world for such a small percentage. And now this is where I don't know because I'm not qualified to fucking speak on it. But I've seen other doctors where they say these young people are getting gender dysmorphia and thinking they need to be post-op transsexual, sex change. and fucking then they have massive regret 4 or 5 years later. Well, your dick isn't going to grow back. You know, like they fucking think because it's a pop culture thing that they have to do this and this is what they're about, where they're looking for answers. But really their minds are, I don't want to say ever that like the mind of somebody going through that is disabled in some way, but they're making big long-term life decisions on a short-term emotional, hormonal fucking change. And there's no surgical answer for a psychological condition, is how I fucking put it. Whether it's fake tits or fucking shots in your ass, chopping your cock off, putting collagen in your lips, or fucking Botox to look younger. It's something you can't fucking face in yourself and accept, and you need to fucking have that. That being said, people can do whatever the fuck they want. Now, I'm almost to the point of, I don't care if you dress like a woman. If you got a cock, you're a fucking man. And if you don't got one, then you can call yourself a female. And if you're a female who wants to be a fucking dude, then you better go get a surgery to get fucking attach a dick. Because otherwise you're just a fucking, masculine, whatever they want to call themselves, dyke or queer. I don't know. I don't keep up. I can't keep up anymore. Lesbian, whatever the fuck, right? There's so many, all this shit. I'm done playing by those fucking rules. Pretty close to being done with it, because it's a waste of time on hype for things of people just not being human at the end of the day, and us being force-fed some shit where a guy like JR now has to be held to the fire by these fucking stupid standards of 80 pronouns because he misspoke about somebody who is a man beating up women, and because he says king of the mountain in maybe a Freudian slip rib, he's the one who's got to get burned on this shit. Fuck that. Fuck your societal rules that you're trying to set up to make everybody jump through it. And there's nothing you're going to fucking do to cancel culture my ass to fucking be like, oh, he's got a tweet, apologize, dive, repeat. You want it right now? I'm sorry for everything I've ever said and I will ever say in the future. And if you think that's sincere, then you can go fucking put it in your pillow and cry on it at night. Because I don't give a fly. I'm not going to placate anymore. The people I know who go through that stuff, I'll support them and love them, but unconditionally. But when you're trying to fucking warp minds and young fucking kids with cross-dressers at a fucking library, you've lost. You're done. You're done in this argument with me. You know it's fucked. You know it's some psychosexual proclivity that you're trying to normalize, and nobody did that to you when you were a fucking kid to do that. And you know a fucking 6 to 8 year old isn't thinking about fake tits and fucking strap-ons and fuck all that shit that you're trying to push, man. So I'm done putting all that shit over.
Well, this is the thing that's sort of interesting, because everything you just said, even if 5% of it was brought up from the inception of AEW to now, because supposedly in the beginning, this Nyla Rose, and I've been around Nyla Rose on the indies years and years back. This wrestler has been around for a while. I worked a couple shows in Pennsylvania a long time ago, and I do remember,
yeah, Cameron works in UPW. She's doing the same shit, like transgender, pre-op, transsexual, and they love her there.
Who is that again?
Cameron. She's this really good wrestler in out of Rochester. Came up with Luke Harper and Colin and all them. Always puts an awesome match together. But that's the match I saw work. The other one, Sunny Kiss, where I'm like, they're into it, but this is like Adrian Adonis versus Rico on some not old school, you're a faggot shit, on some new babyface woke shit. And they're putting together a classic baby versus baby match, incorporating all the half queer stuff that we can't mock about, but that's their gimmick. And I was just sitting in this paradigm with the best friends going, okay, the match was good. It worked. They all got their character stuff in, and they were with the finish. But I'm like, my head was kind of swimming watching it, because I was like, okay.
So you want to be wrestlers, you want to be treated like everybody, but you're exploiting the things that you don't want to exploit.
And then Sunny Kiss comes to the back. Yeah, like, but then Sunny Kiss comes to the back, and you think like, all right, the work is going to stop now. and he starts sucking on a fucking lollipop like it's, you know, some super sexual thing, and running around with Felicia Rose, the porn star chick who got kicked out of Raw there, and they're doing tee hee ha ha and the most effeminate like thing that was even more stereotypical than what I just watched in the ring. I just fucking threw my hands up. I go, fuck it, bro. Like, it's wrestling. I'm not gonna try and make any sense of this at all anymore, dude.
Well, that's why I want to get back to AEW, because this was yet again one of those things that sounded great in a press conference, sounded great when you're talking about all the marketing terms and everything and the equal pay. And then this particular thing with Nyla Rose or anybody, Sonny Kiss or all these, this push for total equality amongst the roster and pushing an agenda of understanding, or whatever you want to call it, of basically equality for everybody, but also showcasing a type of wrestler that's never been showcased before.
Sure.
We assumed she was going to be the or Nyla, I'll just say by name. Nyla was going to be the champion. Sonny Kiss was going to have a profound like impact on the show, that this was going to be a changing of a paradigm in professional wrestling.
Yes.
But I mean, now there could be two different things. I've watched both of them work. Now, are they leaning too much on this character, on this lifestyle, on all this stuff, and not getting better as a performer? I haven't seen any improvement in either one of them.
I've seen
them go to the same tricks that you just talked about. Maybe it could be twofold. AEW's like, how do we even begin to translate this across to a casual fan or our hardcore fans on TNT? How do we get this across on TV without offending at least 20%? Because this week it's a new thing.
If there's anything, that character is to open the window for the gay community to support your fucking thing. Absolutely. For empowerment.
Casual fan.
There's none of that going on. It's just a fucking dude dressed as a woman. Let me ask you this. If a guy wrestler came down and punched fucking Rio right in the face, hard as fucking dropped her, big heat, like, and not something we should do, right? Like, what have you? Yeah. If you came down and did that to Nyla Rose, is the reaction going to be the same as punching a woman that you know is a woman?
Is it? I mean, you see crowd. You see
think
Crowder,
of your gut. Think of your gut feeling.
You see a transgender attacking Steven Crowder, and if he had hit that transgender back who was throwing shit at him and tried to slap him, it's like.
Well, here's the thing, and that maybe
like
I could be wrong,
because $1.50 slap. It wasn't a $5. I still have a $5 here, by the way. I just want to let you know.
Got it. I'll fucking give it to him. Well, here's the thing that Louder with Crowder seg, and maybe this is me. Maybe I'm fucked up and I got it wrong. Maybe I do. That Louder with Crowder seg, that transgender is like your classic stereotypical black crackhead, super gay, in and out of jail possibly, you know, type of gay, right? Like, definitely not there mentally, and you could snap his or her arm easily. Nyla Rose looks like a fucking Samoa Joe style, I'll fuck you up. So the femininity or feminization of whatever they're trying to portray, I guess, does play into it a little bit, because if Crowder would have got up and smacked the shit out of that transsexual one, it would have looked like, run away, like he was hitting one of the men on film from, you know, In Living Color back in the day, like that type. Nyla Rose looks like you slap her in the face, she's gonna fucking Hulk up on you and beat the shit out of you.
She'll get gassed in a few seconds anyway, so it doesn't matter. You'll be fine.
But going with to my question, I asked myself that, what's my gut feeling? If somebody came down and punched a woman in the face and then came down and did that to Nyla Rose, what is my psychological reaction as a wrestling producer? Is it really there? Is the respect there for putting a transgender character on TV? Or is it agenda push and nobody really believes it? It's for a very small segment of the audience, really. And the rest of that audience feels like they're kind of having to go along to get along to save face. I'm just trying to honest talk.
I'd be interested to see core hours on those two segments. Sonny Kiss has been on Dark a lot more, and Nyla Rose has been going on AEW Dark a bit more as well. It's just kind of like, and you know, that's the thing. It's so touchy. Can Cody just turn around, or whoever's in charge, and say, you really haven't improved, and we want to make it more of a meritocracy? That could trigger people. It's a very tough thing. You could get released. Can you release either one of them without a lawsuit? Without some kind these are hard things to talk about.
I think the train is leaving on the Caitlyn Jenner push that they wanted to be on with this, which I can't blame them for. But in the world culture, I feel like we're getting farther away from it, dude. And it's not me trying to strike out against anybody in any part of that community whatsoever. I just feel as a wrestling producer, it's more about agenda push and not even taking care of those performers as much. And when I say that she's the champ, but now that's another, you're going to eat this, right?
Nyla Rose is champ now?
I think she won the championship. I didn't see the match yet.
Yeah, but isn't the timing bad on that? Because if she was the first women's champion, and that's the thing too, is, dude, this makes my head swim. This makes me feel like I just got hit in the head with a chair, because can you even say it's a women's championship anymore? They took it out of the NXT one, and you don't have the same level of diversity and wokeness in that division.
Nyla Rose.
Very tough, man.
Sorry, I just got to read this headline because is this selling for it? WrestlingNews.co. Nyla Rose wins AEW Women's Championship in excellent match on Dynamite. In what may be the best women's wrestling match in AEW history, Nyla Rose defeated Rio to become the AEW Championship. The match started slow and picked up over time. There were tons of near falls, and the crowd was into everything. There was a Rio chant after one of the kickouts. Rio is the second ever Rose is the second ever AEW Women's Champion. It looks like AEW is taking steps to address the critics who say that their women's division needs work. During the picture-in-picture commercial break, Rose has been seen trash-talking Kenny Omega in the backstage area. She also had words to say to other wrestlers who were in the area. But, dude, just the way I haven't seen that match. Our chat saying Nyla hit a weak-ass spear, but they were bigger, so it looked like it would still hurt. I don't know. I haven't seen the match yet, dude, but just the headline: Nyla Rose wins Women's Championship in excellent match on Dynamite. Was it an excellent match? I'll have to watch and see for myself. But is it an intergender match just because you're saying somebody's a woman? Again, none of this. It's still that, all right, we'll take this spoonful of medicine with a little bit of whatever sugar you want to put on it, and then the sheets sell for it in the headlines to put it over even more.
This is very difficult to be a part and try to figure out how to book, not even just trying to figure out how to navigate this in society, to figure out how to book this in wrestling and not offend an advertiser, not offend a fan. They don't seem concerned really with either, or maybe they were more concerned with the advertisers. But once again, if you're concerned with the advertisers and you're trying to, talked about it before, they're doing a lot of wrestling things after they said they would not be like another wrestling promotion. And that's exactly what they turned into.
Sure. And I think the only way to really book it, if she's champ now, is keep her strong on top, because for the reasons I said earlier, she may not be he, depending on what checklist you subscribe to, that who's going to beat her? Nobody should be able to until Awesome Kong comes back and fucking puts the beating on, not because it's him, or because Kong is a super heavyweight and so is Nyla Rose, because it's a man's frame. So,
did Nyla ever work men? I don't think she worked a guy on the show that I worked.
I don't know.
But does she work? Are we going to have these women's champion versus guys within the? I mean,
we got Tessa Blanchard versus Austin, or Ace Austin, in Impact right now. So like, they want to tilt everything on its ear in wrestling. It's gonna do bad business, I think, at the end of the day, man.
Wow, my head hurts.
My head hurts too from it. I wasn't trying to do any homophobic rant of what you can or can't do or with your life. It's about the agenda push and the social contract, you know, of how much is enough for a small amount of the population to have to digest this shit. How much are you going to push on us? It doesn't have shit to do with wrestling, really. It is interesting to think about how to book it, though. That wore me out. That and the fucking Scooby Doo shit wore me out already. John Cena jokes about his upcoming return to Friday Night Smackdown. As noted, 16-time world champ John Cena will be making his return to WWE on February 28th edition of Friday Night Smackdown. Cena thanked WWE on Twitter and joked they will be using the appearance to promote his upcoming film, Invisible Man. You think Disco should get some residuals on that? The horror film starring Elizabeth Moss and Oliver Jackson Cohen has a tagline of "What you can't see, you can't hurt." And while it does come out in theaters the same day as Cena's return to SmackDown, he does not actually have a role in the project. What? Okay. So Cena's coming back. Do you think he'll actually be there, or will this be another awesome Skype call in like we got last week with Goldberg?
Where's the show going to be?
I'm not sure where SmackDown is this week.
If it's in Florida, then there's a chance he might be there. If not, anywhere from, if it's LA or Florida, he'll be there. If it's anywhere else, Skype or good old FaceTime, vertical.
Yeah, vertical FaceTime. Doesn't say which city here.
Ooh, they definitely, man. I can't see the ratings going up on SmackDown after what they pulled with Goldberg.
Yeah, man, but that was a bigger rating for them, that SmackDown. Did a 2.5.
I'm talking about this week with the bait and the results of the bait and switch.
That's what I'm thinking. They better
everybody
have
just
him.
Happy that he was there.
Yeah,
somehow.
We saw him, you guys. Fuck.
Saudi payoff. You're next.
The Women of Honor title's officially dead, Stevie, so you're not winning that. 16-woman tournament announced. ROH has revealed the future of the Women of Honor Championship. The short-lived title was created in 2018 with Sumi Sakai becoming the inaugural champion at the end of the 16-person tournament. Kelly Klein won the title at ROH Glory Glory of Honor 17 last October, but her contract with the company infamously expired at the end of the year while she was still holding the belt. ROH officials have now confirmed that the Women of Honor title has been deactivated and will not be returning. In its place, the company will hold another 16-woman tournament to crown the first ROH Women's World Champion. The tournament begins with an 8-round of matches to be held at ROH Quest for the Gold on Friday, April 24th in Philly at the 2300 Arena. You might have heard of that place. That's interesting, but odd to me. Why would you get rid of the Women of Honor title for the ROH Women's World Championship?
What do you do? Why?
I mean, Marty's got the book over there now, Marty Scurll. I get that you want to wipe the slate clean, but there's no reason to scrap that title. Like, there's mad controversy around it. Do you remember? Wasn't that one of Brandi's first things? Like, she came out and presented that title. Am I remembering that correctly?
I don't remember. But what's the Woman of Honor has its own little niche?
Yeah.
With the name. Why would you take that away and call it the Women's World Title?
World Champion.
The world.
Yeah.
And plus, world titles don't carry it doesn't carry the thing of, because everybody travels over the world. There's nothing real special anymore.
Yeah.
People understand it's a company title.
Women of Honor title's a better moniker. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know why you don't just present the new title to the current champion. Who's the champion? Sumi?
No, it was they took it off of Kelly Klein because she was
so it's been vacant all that time.
Right. So why not hold the 16-woman tournament for that? Like, I don't get, like, we need a new belt. Like, that's weird to me, man.
Well, so I don't know how much money Sinclair has after paying him.
Yeah, all the money still probably.
Did he really get a full-time like deal with them as far as money?
Yes.
Good for him.
Yep. Him and Magnus played in the cut perfectly because NWA needs ROH. ROH needs NWA. He could have gone to NXT and been marginalized at best. And then, or he could have gone with his boys at AEW. I think it was smarter to stay in ROH to open that door because AEW will possibly want to partner with ROH, and all that relationship was damaged. So it was a smart power play position plus money at that time. So I got to respect his gangster when it comes to business, man. He saw an opportunity that was unique that might not be the most luscious looking pasture, but if you're willing to get your hands dirty and put in the work, he could fucking be a key player in the next 5 years, like a real key player.
I'm still amazed that they opened up the bank account or the checkbook for him to that extent, because that can also cause a lot of, I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys are not making living wages there, but I'm sure the Briscoes aren't getting paid what they should be getting paid. A lot of guys there. You have Red Titus. I don't even think I see him a lot on indies, but that's a guy who's been there. There's guys that have stayed there for a long time who I feel like, are still struggling and still under that kind of TNA style thing where when they leave wrestling, they can't work out and take care of their bodies for the next tour. They have to go and actually work a job.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's a couple guys, his name's escaping me. Shit. He's like a real man's man. What's his Silas?
Oh, Silas.
Yeah. Like he usually puts out, he's a good company guy. Even if shit's rough, he's usually trying to toe the line. You know what I mean? Sometimes he's buried his man's man with some too much of Twitter thumbs a little bit. Cause I really liked that guy. Like, it's not like when Angel Garza like, and he's a men's man and I'm a ladies man. Like, when you see Silas Young, guys are like, there's a fucking dude like you want in the trenches with you, So, but I think there's a lot of opportunity there with ROH. That's a weird decision to me. I'm not one that's gonna be like wrong. It's gonna fucking hurt you out of the gate to do that. But like, there was no need to do a new belt. I don't think you had like bad tarnish on it unless. The only thing I can think of is there's a part of that story where she's holding the title and won't give it back. And they're like, fuck it, we'll make a new title. That's the only other worker thing I could think of. Summer Rae shares Calvin Klein photo and WWE star mistaken for Braun Strowman's son. I was again. It's Elias and Drake Maverick. Drake Maverick was actually mistaken for his son. As they do some other fucking WWE wing eating challenge or something like that. They're eating tiny tacos. So another knockoff of food shows or whatever they're trying to do and exposing themselves a little bit more. The Calvin Klein shoot picture is pretty hot. If you want to check that out, you can go to her Instagram at Danielle Monnier. So. Jordynne Grace ends Taya Valkyrie's record-breaking title knockouts reign. The 23-year-old powerhouse defeated Taya Valkyrie on Impact Wrestling Tuesday night, ending the longest reign in 13-year history, 377 days. The title change actually occurred on January 18th in Mexico City at the promotion's second last set of TV tapings. This was the main event, and I did a show yesterday breaking it down with Joe Jan. Man, they missed it. This was a strange match, and why they would book it this way, Stevie. I think that somebody needed to rein them in, especially if they're doing a big thing like this that's ending a 377-day streak. They have Taya Valkyrie with an ex-referee who's like wears too tight shirts. He's like a douchebag sidekick gimmick, right? He was on the show with us. He's a good guy. Works BCW for D'Amore way up north. So they have him do like 3 choke spots on getting heat on fucking Jordynne Grace with distraction in a main event for the title here. Payoff. So the ref's buried as fuck and doesn't throw him out. Why? Because they got to do more get your shit and stuff, which is where I feel like the indie side of booking, no one reeled them in. He comes in, no, he jumps up and pushes Jordynne Grace off. So he does another jump up, buries the ref. They go to get Taya Valkyrie in the not rings of Saturn, crippler crossface. The ref's right there. He pulls Taya's arm so she can get the rope. He looks right at him. Still doesn't fucking, now's the time you're thrown out. He gets in the ring, gets cut off by Jordynne Grace, takes a big fucking bump. So he's laid out in the ring. Ref's not even trying to get him out of the ring. Ref's completely buried. And then Taya's down. Well, this was another rookie thing. Fucking Taya starts to climb. Jordynne grabs her by the foot and pulls her down. Taya takes a nasty bump instead of grabbing her by the waist so she can land on her feet. You know, like just some real amateur shit going on here. And then while Taya's down, he crawls over again and gets on top of her. Jordynne goes, nah, whatever the fuck, hits him with the big mama bomb so he can sell. And then he's down and out, and we go into the finish, dude. Buried the ref like 6 times instead of after the second one getting caught. Get the fuck out of here. You're out of there, the big pop. And now we're going to do the straight wrestling for the title finish. They even do a big gimmick finish in the payoff, and it just really was... like not how you book that match. If you got to get him over, he's got to get thrown out. The ref was buried the entire time, and it just was like, where's D'Lo on this, man? Where's the guys to really get this shit right for a big payoff like that? I did not like it.
I gotta watch it. I can't really commentate, but I mean, this is one of those things of, I mean, who's watching it? What are the ratings? Did they release the ratings?
No, they don't have to because they own the network.
Oh, there you go. Was she a babyface? Wasn't she a heel before? Or she was just a heel on Twitter?
Taya, and they're in Mexico where she's way over and has been as a heel, so she's getting reaction. And then another thing, Taya's down as the heel. She starts banging on the mat to get the crowd up. I'm going, what the fuck is going on here, man? Like, who is letting these girls do these indie things? And I think Taya's way smarter than that, or I thought she was, in trying to get them into the match, dude. Yeah, for a main event, it really was not booked the right way in order to take the title off of her, so or make Jordynne Grace. It was really about the ref manager and the incompetence of the ref in the ring. But the numbers are in on the XFL. 3.3 million people. So 33, if you want your numerology, 3 plus 3. You know, we can get it over any way we want to. But yeah, and you just put out your new video. You want to give us a preview of that, of what you're thinking about as the XFL progresses here, man.
I was excited for it and hopeful. And, you know, most of my expectations, they over-delivered. Because what we wanted, you know, with this version of the XFL or just any football league was that NFL feel, the high-level production. And also you have to have good gameplay, good football. And it was. And everybody could have gotten away with week 1 choppiness or miscommunications or bad, you know, technology because they had the mics and the coaches were mic'd calling in plays and stuff like that. And people are complaining like, I don't understand what that is or this and that. But the commentators tried to cover it. It's just you have to tighten that because the gameplay clock is less than the NFL and it's running. So you need to keep moving. So what would you rather have? Them trying to figure out the logistics of them explaining a play, or would you rather have a football game that's not 3+ hours?
And there was never any of those. There was never any of those moments like in the NFL, like, all right, they're getting close to the play, and we've been waiting for the fucking play, and then somebody does something, and the flag goes up, and now we got to wait again and go to commercial. There was never any of that lag. There was never any moments like that.
The replay review, which is a Sky Judge idea from AAF, which, you know, had a lot of problems financially, but the football there wasn't even. It's weird how the football in AAF and a lot of the players carried over to the XFL. You had a little bit more NFL players signed than the AF, but it just felt like a completely different product. and it was good. It was fun. I wish they wouldn't put him in MetLife Stadium because it looked like confetti out there. The smaller soccer stadiums where, you get that 20, 25,000 people in there, it looks great.
It does.
So I have nothing really bad to say about it. And yes, I put up a video about it. I didn't like I did the ESPN video where it was a voiceover type thing, playing footage, doing things like that. And I just did. We talked about it. How long have we talked about me saying, first of all, myself and Snitsky were looking to maybe be walk-ons and try out. I want to try out for field goal kicker, which is kind of useless right now, the way they have the rules set up. But now maybe I'd be collecting a check. It'd be easy. It'd be kind of like I'm in catering, unbooked catering. But then it was like, I started to look and say, man, it would be interesting to be in something in the digital space with media. You have Coach doing the pre-show, you have McAfee on the sidelines, but I heard McAfee doesn't want to make it a long-term thing because he's got so many other NFL related things going on. I think he now he has to pick and choose his bookings.
Poor
good
Pat.
Spot.
Poor Pat. Poor him.
Poor Pat.
Yeah.
Hey, but that dude was on the NFL Network before when he currently played for the Colts as a punter. And dude, trust me, he stuck with it. He was ahead of his time. People scoffed at him. Even when he did the Fox NFL game with the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions, and he was being Pat McAfee, the fucking network hated him. Now it's like he just stayed the course, stayed himself, and now he's over.
He made himself a personality. He wasn't another talking head asshole communications major puppet that is a dime a dozen in every panel that we watch, it seems now. So, yeah, man, I think good things. It'll be interesting to see versus NASCAR this weekend. If they take the hit and can bounce back from that, they must be having to take the hit versus NASCAR. So that'll be that. XFL, we're enjoying it. Check out Stevie's channel, Stevie Richards on YouTube, and you can catch the new video there. NWA debuting new series, The Circle Squared. How original. Next week, NWA Power will go on a very brief hiatus as the National Wrestling Alliance debuts a brand new series called The Circle Squared. The concept was announced back in November as a competition show to find potential new members of the full-time roster. Those having original NXT flashbacks need not worry. Aspiring stars simply have an opportunity to speak on the mic before proving their ability in the ring. The final winner will be a star that best connects with the fans, earning an NWA contract. The debut episode drops next Tuesday night on 6:05 Eastern Time. This is the send in all your promos bit. They've got butted up there in their talent search. If I was going to show them one thing, it would probably be the misspelling this week on their Facebook posts, and then the lighting rig that was in the picture on the promo picture shots. But that's me. I probably would have fixed them, and I hope everybody who's sending their promos gets excellent chance.
How do you feel about this? How do you feel about is this the age-old, like, the Prove It deal? Is this to get some cheap or free talent for as long as possible?
Of course,
to do this, for the opportunity, for the exposure.
Every wrestling company that's going to be successful needs to run on a mark base of people who want to be wrestler who pay for it. Whether it's OVW, Monster Factory, that's what you'd pay your dues to accomplish your dreams. I had to pay my $6,000. You guys went to school too to do it, and anybody can. It's whether you're gonna make it, have the longevity, all this shit. Now, there's 10 and 15-year pros sending this guy promos to get on TV for free with no guarantee, so you can do a battle of the bands type thing. So when whoever's got the biggest social media following can hit their fucking squad and go, dude, put me over to NWA, da-da-da. Well, he's got 17,000 followers as opposed to the guy who's got 4,000 or 5,000. Well, who cuts a better promo? The guy with 17 or 4 or 5 that he's in here who gave us free shit. Well, the guy with 4 or 5 does better. Well, we want the exposure. Well, here we are at Battle of the Bands, right? Hashtag me to be the next NWA star who will probably be paid the lowest on the totem pole because I gave them free shit and didn't know my rate
Worth.
Yeah. So like, there's the cuteness of it. Like, not fooling the real workers, bro. And guys who are super hungry, who've had this door slammed in their face again, of course they're going to fucking send their shit, because that's the sick trap of wrestling. And if they wanted to make stars, or they knew who the stars already were, they would have plucked those guys, put them on their show. There's guys on their show now who are phenomenal and doing character work, and guys Then there's other guys who I'm like, I've never even heard of these fucking guys on the indies ever. Where they've worked, or the Northeast, or what have you. Maybe I'm not working there.
Most of them are probably locals that they're just using, and they'll have to fly them in, or even give them a hotel or anything, or maybe even money.
And those are the guys you want as stars. You're looking for the best talent. It don't add up.
Be kind.
Yeah, I will. I'll try my best, man. I apologize.
Anything I can do for you today?
Accept my apology for all my past and present tweets. Please don't hold me accountable for anything I say.
You didn't count the segment from earlier. You should include that.
Oh, okay.
With your apology.
I will. I'll get that too. Write it up. Got to get off the disco list. The longtime Impact announcer returning for TNA. There's no place like home. David Penzer's coming back for April 3rd in Tampa. So Penzer, baby. Chris Sabin, Amazing Red, Scott Steiner, Petey Williams, Chris Harris, Ken Anderson, and D'Lo Brown have all been confirmed as well. How about Dr. Stevie? Has he been confirmed?
Not at all. Not at all.
Only in his Christian confirmation back in the day. That was it.
Yeah. I think it'll be, I'm going to go down there.
Down where?
Well, I'm scheduled to go down there to represent Retromania Wrestling, which would be fun. I mean, it'd be fun to go and try to get booked and make money without ever taking a bump. This whole thing of this week at WrestleMania is literally like I said before, the WrestleCon logo or WrestleMania logo should be locusts swarming over a crop, because all they're going to do is just empty it out, like, or a person with the upside down with money falling out of their pockets. I don't, that's probably going to have a loaded roster anyway, because how many hundreds of wrestlers are going to be there, and how many people are already going to be there to Impact can use. Dr. Stevie being there is not going to make any bit of a difference. I'd like to see guys like Raven on there to because he was in the class again. He's former NWA World Champion on the show. Guys like him. Who else am I thinking of? Good to see Chris Harris. I hope he wasn't in the best of shape last time I saw him years and years back, but hopefully
even a cameo with Dr. Stevie backstage taking people's blood pressures, and something breaks out that way. That's all I want, man. Is that too much to ask?
Do you want it? Well, you're not gonna buy a ticket to it, or what?
No,
you'll watch it.
Steal it online. Hopefully, I'll be in the back and I can come in and act like I'm security. It'll be great.
Come in looking for your money again.
Yeah, with my lawyer fucking letter. Stevie, do you think 2K games will screw up XFL game like WWE 2K20, or will it be better than NFL 2K5 from Sonic the Hedgehog?
It's funny. I just did an interview with Operation Sports last night. I'm going to put it up on the YouTube channel, because both videos I've done about ESPN 2K5 have gotten a great deal of traction. I have the Xbox right over here. I'm going to start streaming once a week 2K5. I think 2K, which I've had my ups and downs with them. I did the perfect game. I pitched that perfect game for 2K11 for the baseball. Never got the money, but I'm hoping that they go and look at the people that still play this game 16 years later, and that weighs on them, rather than going the super greedy microtransaction route that EA and currently 2K Sports does. If they make an XFL game and they follow the same exact model as the ESPN, they make the game $20 like they did in 2004. And your one purpose with this game is to try to kill EA while not losing money. You get market share, you get mind share, you get the hearts and minds of
brand
people. Brand loyalty. You make them. You pretty much take everything you can from the best of ESPN 2K5 maybe you do end up getting a Fox presentation or the ESPN presentation back because they have partnership agreements with the XFL. You can have the ESPN halftime show with Chris Berman again. You can have all the things, and now you updated gameplay, updated graphics. You have 4K for PS4 Pro and Xbox One. You can build off that foundation and make it the Fire Pro of football games once again. Mm-hmm. That's what I like to call it.
Awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, they can mess it up. They can get greedy, but I think I say it once again because people think it's funny. During the video that I put up about ESPN, there was a lot of comments. And I get a video with that many views. I read the comments from time to time because it's got good traction. And something like that's not going to have you as nothing in WWE. Like, you don't get that. Probably do. I just don't read them. Yeah. But long story short about that, like, people are assuming since I put this video out that I'm the pitch man between XFL and 2K because I'm a WWE guy. And what I say is speak that shit into the universe because I would love to be a consultant on the XFL video game. If that's my XFL barrier to barrier of entry, I could scratch 2 itches at once.
Let's fucking get that going, you guys. Absolutely. You want it done the right way. He's got the full lowdown of what to do and what not to do and how to make it great.
If I had anything to do with it, I would definitely. I mean, you have somebody like me and maybe McAfee and other people that are within the football thing or people that have played this game for 16 years to come in and make sure it's true to its origin. Yeah, I would love to be part of that.
Another one from the live chat here at twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman, Andresen. He had sent me something on Twitter, wanting to know what you thought of the PJ Hawk Mall, viral video going up to the second tier there and probably dropping about 28, 29 feet, could call it 30.
My personal opinion is that it went viral. It did what it was supposed to do.
Sure.
So very dangerous because there's no ledge to stand off and spring off. If he could have just as easily slipped off the railing with flat boots like wrestlers have. I'm sure when they put the ring up that Luke and everybody looked at that and they put it closer to the point where he was I hate to make excuses because I love Luke. Wildcat is pretty much my number one promotion to work for. PJ and I had a great match back in November. I feel that stuff is more exciting and that stuff tells a better story. This stuff, of course, will put Wildcat and PJ on the map. I don't think Luke put him up to it. I'm sure Luke didn't put him up to it. And I'm sure, as a matter of fact, Luke, when he was finally, the kid was like, I'm going to do it anyway, took every safety precaution that they could to make sure that, shit can still go wrong. How do I feel about it? I feel it's bullshit and personally unnecessary for a kid that I think has a great future in the business. This might springboard it and jump him up a little quicker, but you got to weigh the risk and the return on that. Afterwards, 2020, okay, it was worth the risk. I would tell PJ to never do it again because then you're expected by these scumbag promoters to do that. New Jack, he was always expected to dive off a fucking balcony.
Yeah.
The guy could talk. He could actually work. He could bring excitement without ever having to do that. But he opened up Pandora's box and it became a thing that people expected from him.
Yeah, I'm happy, PJ's getting the shine and that Luke he's a savvy businessman. He's made it go viral and it's everywhere from ESPN to whatever. And we're talking about it now. I'm an ECW mark from back in the day, so it reminds me of that opening footage from the scaffolding match where they fall, you know what I mean? Like it's burning your brain, and I'm sure Luke's brand will get that type of play out of it going forward in the future, but that's what I'm worried about too, I hope this doesn't become a thing where I got to do it again and I got to become this guy. You did it once, you got your clip, now move on to the next thing, man, whatever you can do, because yeah, it was dangerous. That's the high-flying stunt show spot, and am I young, dumb, and full of cum and fucking want to do it for the fans and can go viral if it goes well, and it does? Or it could be, why the fuck did this kid jump off and now he's paralyzed, and no Mark's ticket at the fucking mall is really worth that. I'm glad it didn't go anywhere close to that way. But, you know, that's the risk and the sickness of what we do.
One thing to add, too, is Luke's a stunt man in Hollywood. PJ has done stunt work as well. And on a personal level, once again, Luke doesn't exploit his kid like that. Luke is not that guy.
No.
So I'm just putting all these things out there that if you encapsulate it all, of course I didn't like it. Of course, being on the other side of it. But who am I to talk living through ECW?
Dude, we even get hot now, like Mr. Man, the manager at Immortal, going through a table or getting color. He got color because he wanted to. I fucking go back and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, you're Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan doesn't go through tables and get fucking color. I just wanted to, I want to be one of the boys. I did this and that. The guy's fucking pushing late 50s. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, dude. I got a lot of love for you. Dude, Mama Luke, put me in a bear hug. Motherfucker, you got a back brace on, dude. Ben Hamin is not going to be the guy that fucking puts you in a wheelchair for life. Fuck that. You gotta help guys sometimes.
I remember that argument. Everybody's standing around Mama Luke telling him, fucking cursing at him.
Dude,
no,
like, what the
Stevie,
fuck?
Oh, I love the fact. He'll tell a funny story. Said they put a little levity into it.
Yeah.
This was one of the many nights that Nunio was trying to break my arm for some reason repeatedly, and continued that in Boston on this booking this past year. But I remember Marmaluka, we were handling the kids' gloves, and this motherfucker on the outside started punching me dead between the eyes. Remember I said that? I go, he's
punching me.
He's not taking care of him. He's killing me.
That was fun ass fucking time together.
Good stuff.
Local advertising stooges off WWE Men's Elimination Chamber participants. It appears the final stop on the road to WrestleMania will take place March 8th at the Wells Fargo Center in Philly. Excuse me. WWE is currently focusing on its build for the Super Showdown at the moment in Saudi. And no matches are announced for WWE Elimination Chamber. However, a local advertisement yesterday, WWE's Raw has revealed the participants. The match is billed as a winner getting a Universal Championship match at Mania 36. Braun, Bobby Roode, Corbin, Shinsuke, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns. So there's your stooge off. Draw whatever storylines you'd like to put together there. I'm sure Reigns, Corbin, Shinsuke, Strowman, Roode, Strowman, and Daniel Bryan to get the shot maybe. I don't know why DB would figure into that unless the Fiend's going to do something. But stooge off once again. The other stooge there on this one was Simone Johnson, daughter of The Rock, signs with WWE NXT, man. I've been knowing about this one for a while. I know she trained privately with Serena for like a year to get ready for this, off and on. So, and then there was another thing, I'll stooge it off. Fuck, it's the locker room. I got added to a group text I probably shouldn't have by Paradise the other day. And I just, he's like, sorry, Pops. And I was like, don't worry about it, man. And I called him. It was good to hear his voice. He's doing good. I heard that he actually got to do something with The Rock not long ago where he followed him around the whole day. So I don't know what the project is. I didn't get the stooge off. I asked him about the Killer Cross stuff. He couldn't tell me, but could tell me, a little bit. And he's just excited to be able to work on this project. He's got an awesome team of people at NXT with him. And, I know Serena helped get her prepared, and I'm sure she's going to be a fucking megastar,
Mm-hmm. Those NXT people do not want to get on the production side. They do not want to get called up to WWE, do they?
No, they don't, dude. They're excited to work on the fun stuff. Everybody's kind of hands offy. Like the thing that I do know about NXT that's pretty hardcore, and I mean all through WWE, is when a show's over or when something is like on the schedule, it's got to be mailed out. Like Arn talked about doing those fucking reports at 2 a.m. when the show's over, that shit's got to be go and hit the inbox of whoever the higher ups is. There's definitely like the paperwork pecking order. Now, what that translates into, if it just goes into the shredder or the delete bin or whatever the fuck, you know, maybe, but I have seen that, and I know that's a big part of what he has to do, because he was working on something, a change got made, he had to go back, re-upload everything, and if you know about uploading big video content, you know, it's a couple clicks, but you got to wait, make sure everything gets there. It takes a while, these big files. So,
well, let me ask you a question about that. Like, does that mean, are the higher ups at 11 p.m. or 1 a.m., are they really reading those emails?
Yeah, that's like a fiery hoop to jump through, right? Like, oh,
like if you don't, you're going to get heat.
You're going to get
if
heat.
You do, it's going to be ignored.
Exactly. And that's corporate. I mean, that's pretty much corporate 101, wrestling or not. You know, like that's where the corporate structure is definitely involved there.
Thank God for us. No, I mean, dude, that's just, to do that is just so mind and soul sucking. You know what I mean?
It does have value, though. I could see for Jimmy and talking to him, like whatever, like sure, the frustration is there because it's like, but at least you know what is expected and workload wise. So
I'm talking talent and shows and creative. Yeah. He's on production thing. It's a whole different level of giving feedback and doing things and getting content out there. If you're an agent trying to instill change and get these guys over, at least when you wrestle, you put up with the bullshit, you get to be in the ring and fucking kind of beat it out of yourself. And you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get to exert some energy to feel somewhat in control or feel a payoff. Mm-hmm. Dude, I wouldn't want to be a producer up there or a writer or one of these people where you're legitimately not feeling any kind of fulfillment at any point.
What do you mean? You didn't see the passion in Buck's eyes in his thing yesterday? I'm happy
it's a different guy that I look like.
Yeah, I'm happy for Buck and all that. But yeah, dude, it is that's being part of it.
You're not as happy as Ryback is.
But
he looked like, dude, and he fucking looked my age.
They put it on him, bro. They put it on him hard there already, dude. That's just what you sign on for, I guess, now, you know, those miles and doing those reports. That's probably what he has to do. Everybody checks in at the end of the show. He's got a file, send it to Stanford or NXT and follow up and on to the next one, man. Take a picture of yourself and at the bar with the crew.
Just the thing of getting there, wearing your suit to travel or wearing whatever clothes you wear to travel, getting there, having to change out, get in the ring, do that, come back, shower, put your suit back on, have the suit on, go on TV, come back, try to have your report, still wear the suit to leave the building, try to figure out when you're going to change out of the suit and be comfortable, get to a hotel, get everything hung up so you can wear your suit again tomorrow, Febreze the suit.
So really, most of your job is suit modeling throughout the day. Like
most of your job is wardrobe changes.
Good
Fuck off. I buy my $6 32 degrees shirts and shorts, and I'm fine.
That's it, dude. It's this crazy fucking life. I will say, man, I haven't got to hear Kamikaze Kid or Paradise, whatever you want to call his voice in a while, and I get to do the show with Silvio, his old tag partner from Totally Awesome today, and those are the things that I fucking care about in this life, man. That's the shit that really makes me happy until I see a 33-year-old dressed as Scooby Doo at ringside. Cody says AEW is definitely heading to the UK in 2020. Good news for UK wrestling fans is Cody's confirmed AEW will be there. He stated the UK they'll go to the UK at some point, but during a conversation with Wrestling Observer Radio, he stated that moment will take place in 2020 at some stage. So look forward to it. I'm sure our man Old Athers will be right in the cut there. As he is, at every major show that way and has the lowdown of what's going down. So, UK fans, and we've had a pretty sizable growth in our UK listenership over there. So appreciate you Brexit motherfuckers tuning in to the Horsemen. We get a lot of Horsemen followers from there, and obviously a huge wrestling contingent as well. Last story of the day, Stevie. Brandi Rhodes confirms the Nightmare Collective is over. I was not happy with it, is the quote. Brandi Rhodes recently.
God damn it. Are you fucking serious?
I'm sorry.
Fuck. We were going so good there.
Was,
you can't, I can't believe it.
It was there. We had him.
Nothing
there.
makes me madder or makes me want to throw my $200 headphones down than hearing this awful news. You got to be fucking kidding me.
I know. I didn't want to be the one to have to.
Them?
No, I can hear it.
Send a bill. They live in the next town. If I broke my headphones, I'd go right there and get my money back.
See, I was not happy with it.
Actually, may have. I think I did.
Brandi Rhodes spoke with The Observer, the faction, which started with Brandi and Awesome Kong and went on to add Dr. Luther and Melanie. Mel, I guess they're just calling her, has received criticism from fans online. Seems that AEW listened to that, and as Brandi Rhodes confirmed, that storyline is over, admitting she wasn't happy with it herself. Brandi said, one of the things that we claim at AEW is that we let our artists play their music the way that they want to play it. I'm one of the artists that's part of the Nightmare Collective, and I started to see the music was not played how I liked it. I like I didn't feel it. And I started to notice that the audience members were on the same page as me. So I think So I think a big misconception is AEW made changes. Not at all. I did 100%, because if I'm going to do something, I want to be happy with it. And I was not happy with it. I wasn't happy with me in it. I wasn't happy with other people as far as how they were being perceived or portrayed. So I made the decision to do that series. So I made the decision to do the series that I put out there with The Therapist. What? There's a series with a therapist, I guess, that I'm supposed to know about that I don't know about, and she's putting the heat on herself, which is a selfless, easy locker room thing to do. So that I kind of respect, but like,
we got to read between the lines of that.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. It's on.
She saw it before the fans even reacted to it. She knew before the fans did, and then she started to hear the fans. Do you think it was? I think it was the opposite.
Yeah.
Why can't you just say that? We listen to you. That's your base.
And especially now she's playing supportive, scared wife. And dude, it didn't come off a lot like that when she was doing MJW's MJF stuff.
Can we just too, like, can't you please just stop being so metaphoric? Just talk like I hate these marketing terms. This all the, now it's music. Like we play our music, and it doesn't impress people. Just be like, all right, cool. That's what we do. We're early in on this, and you know what? Her saying, reading between the lines once again, she was smart enough to see it before the fans, and don't say it was AEW because I get to call my own shot. Like what talent says we're going to stop doing this? You're in charge. That's what you're saying. And I said to AEW.
And you're not even in charge. You're a branding officer. You're not a.
No, but this quote is
right.
I told AEW to stop.
I stopped it.
Am I wrong in interpreting
No, you're not.
that?
You're not wrong in interpreting that.
Good on you. I mean, you got the confidence to do it, and you probably got the spot as well. But don't make it seem like it's a very gracious thing that you're doing for the fans.
Dude, and look at who's hurt by this. This Luther guy, that's a favor job. Mel is awesome, and I think could have gotten over at China level if they would have done it. Mm-hmm. The other chick from Pat Buck's thing that I got the crush on, who's the thick blonde.
Starlander?
Yeah, Skylander, Starscream, or whatever it was. She's marginalized now because of it. There goes all her business. Kong's out to go do Glow at Netflix. Like, this was a female Dark Order weird thing. So now we just have two new top tier big women wrestlers, a transgender champ that is going to have to go over on them, and some little Japanese girls. Like, everything means nothing at this point. And this is Q3 of what's going on. We're already starting and stopping visions of what we have here, which means we have no vision, which we have no long-term plan, no real creative juice on how to build a women's division and or do a storyline within it and introduce characters and what those characters' parts are going to be. And we just throw a grenade in the room because some fucking marks go, I don't like it. What did they say? They don't like it? I'm declaring this to be over with. Now watch me, Brand.
Me first. I saw it first. Right.
What the flying motherfucker, dude.
Well, I mean, in the end, I mean, what's it going to be now? Are they going to release those? This is my question about the talent, too, that I see Nyla Rose working indie shows. You saw Sonny Kiss work. And I'm talking about recently, Jimmy Havoc working an indie show. Who else?
There's a bunch of Orange Cassidy's got indie shows coming up.
What are these deals?
You're not signed. They're not signed.
They're not signed.
They can't be. There's no Cody coming from OVW. And Jericho and W. There's no way that they're signing those people to contracts and then letting them go work indies. There's no fucking.
That's what I mean. It's irresponsible and it's also irresponsible of you as a talent if you're getting a full-time contract to go and split your time and also potentially get hurt. Like if I was a TV wrestler once a week getting a contract, all I'm doing is working out, dieting, resting up, and getting ready for the next, thing.
I know Dino Gimmick's got a secret shot coming up, and fucking that's a guy coming back from injury and going to work again. I don't want to stooge off Lucha, but
no, I thought you said the name and it cut off.
I said Dino Gimmick without saying his fucking name. I know that he's got a shot coming up where it's not just a signing. They're going to work. Like the fact that they're in the ring working instantly stooges off to me. They don't have contracts.
So let's go with the theme once again. What was all this, this press conference stuff about changing the way they do things and having people under these contracts? And I forget what the quote was, but basically you were saying you were going to take care of the boys, right? And the girls and the others.
Am I wrong in assuming that? Like, could you imagine that would be in part of a contract that's six figures, supposedly 6-figure contracts, that they would allow them to go work indie dates and possibly be injured? Wrestling doesn't work like that.
So they're not quite what they said they were going to be.
And how long?
That's an understatement.
And how long until the fakeness of people like whoever who the world thinks has a contract, but they don't, and then there's some money dispute and money fucks up everything and the veil drops and fucking people find out some real deal about how the business really works.
That supposedly the people that are in charge are getting all the money and everybody else is getting the crumbs, right?
Yep. But I mean, to be honest with you, and I'll say this on Light the Fuse, they've been in the business a while, but Jack Evans and this other guy he walks out with, I look at them and I'm taken aback. I'm like, even if these guys are getting per performance dates, like, how are these guys on TV, bro? I go, and not to be jealous of what have you, I go, put me and Kong against those fucking guys. It'd be a rib to like put us next to together, who's TV ready and who's got money written on them. Put Crime Time next to those fucking guys and see who's got money written on them versus that. Not trying to take anything away from Jack Evans and the other dude. I can't even remember who come out in some. Their gimmick is to wear something, in my opinion, something from Hot Topic that was left over from the Halloween rack, and hopes that gets them over with little kids. Like, it's it's laughable that those guys have contracts and other guys don't, to me. Or supposedly have contracts, but I think the reality is they're working for $150.
Regular TV time, which is worth a lot of money, and getting paid. Like, I mean, I'm just always curious. Are they paying somebody $500 to come in and work TV?
I think less. I think less. I bet those two guys got $250 each for that.
All right, so $250 each. If you work every TV for 52 weeks, it's $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month. $12,000 a year, gross. that makes sense. If you're
And,
working
well,
indies,
I'll
you're going-
stooge off because I had another conversation with somebody who's very close to the top brass. And I'm not going to burn my sources, but he heard us talking, Silvio and I, because so there's 4,500 people, 4,400 at that last taping. Because Josh, you remember Josh got into it on the Hamin Media Group, and you were like, what's up? So my other source was listening to us, and he goes, so I said 4,500 and it was $68 average ticket price. So I bumped it to 75 with merch across the board, right? So let's even go $5,000. It's $75 each, right? So that comes out there. Let's Steiner math it here. 5 times 75, 12. No, fuck.
I'll do.
You go ahead. So I said, what is that going to be when it comes to producing a show? $375,000. I was at about 340. At 350. So let's even go high side and say, what does it cost to book the arena, to produce TV, plus what you're getting for commercials, plus your payday, plus trucks, travel, movement, insurance, what it takes. Yeah. My source said that TNT pays for half of the TV, every TV taping. So, 160 to 200,000 maybe, depending, 100 to 200,000. So that was an interesting piece of business that kind of got stooged off to me that I didn't want to fucking burn anybody, but that also when I'm thinking of, holy fuck, how do they got 4,000 people in the audience? What's their cost? What's their roster? Who's got contracts at 12,000 a piece or 130,000, which was also the projection. So paying fucking Jack Evans or the fucking house party guys or whoever that are your lower tier guys or Mel or whatever, what are they really making? Or is somebody like Orange Cassidy really signed for $130,000? I got to believe as a wrestler, it's the work side of it, because otherwise, how the fuck could you, the dollars and cents aren't going to fucking work out at the end of the day, in my opinion.
It's either the guys are incredibly, I'll take that back. Either the company is incredibly negligent to let them work under contracts on indie promotions, and that's like a vote of no confidence right there, whoever's letting that happen, or you're not paying them and they're not under contract and you lied to everybody in this feel good, this is what AEW is going to be about.
I didn't lie. You lied.
How did I lie?
You lied. I fucking told him that no, and you said yeah.
I did. Yeah. Sorry.
That's what I'm saying. You got you got to get out in front of it.
I cost Jack Evans $120,000 this year. I'm sorry.
You saw this coming, and you were going to end the angle of contracts before everybody else got one. You knew.
I did. When you make a pot of rice, sometimes it comes out to 12,000. Sometimes it comes out to 130. Right there. It made the most sense as her analogy.
That's it. Play the music you're going to play, young jazz man. And that's not the shit on anybody's wrestling. It's just what I have to look at is what I know from promotions and promoters, longevity, money lost. And when something ain't right and it don't feel right, the WWE would only let OVW use their talent at Six Flags in an exchange program because they were feeder. There's no other way you were going to book anybody else that way, dude. And I've never heard any other Fed that had contracts that just lets their guys go work an indie date unless it was like finishing up with dates and you were doing good business on your way out. And they're like, yeah, do your business. Go. That's cool. We know we got you. But meanwhile, while you're a supposed star getting to go work that stuff without a big collaboration, that just... Maybe I'm wrong, as always, and I apologize for all. This is what I'm apologizing for all my tweets, all my statements. So go to prowrestlingtees.com/Ben and buy the shirt, and you can apologize, dive, tweet, repeat as much as you want to. But Stevie, that is the news for today. It's been a fun last 12, 16 hours recording, man, with plenty of roast shaggies and Scooby shoots and all the snacks that they want out here while Ryback eats giant Rice Krispie treats and Buck gets a new suit. And it's a big week for us all, buddy.
Yeah, but we have breaking news that the Scooby snack guy has been signed to a deal for $130,000 a year.
I look
Jack Evans declined to comment.
Jack Evans getting a Scrappy Doo costume next. That's what he's doing. Yeah. And you can see Scooby at Excite Wrestling become the champion of Binghamton. I'm sure he'll fucking be there and signing autographs. It'll be a great time.
I think I broke my headphones. Not quite sure. It sounds all right, I guess.
The commitment to the bit and the take was worth it, I say. You can just write one email and get a new pair anyway, so what's it matter?
She should apologize to me because I didn't see the Dark Order. I didn't see, is it the Dark Order? What the fuck is the name of it? I'm so broken up about it. I forgot the name of her group.
It's Dark something. Dark Mascara.
The Nightmare Collective.
Yeah. The Nightmare Creative.
Yeah. All right, let's go to pitches. We're over 2 hours, man.
Yeah, it was a good show, man. For sure. That's how you know it's good stuff. But yeah, Stevie, I saw some people really influencing me there with the Stevie Richards property of Stevie Richards shirts on in the Stevie Richards fitness group. Actually, I was kind of pissed because, you know, you're posting this and Dixie's commenting on your stuff, and I'm just trying to kick out of all the sickness, and you guys post that, and then Rip last night, look in the mirror, honestly, on first impression alone, would you pay to see you perform? Do you look like a badass? Do you carry yourself with confidence? Or are you skinny fat with rotten gear looking like you need to be buying a ticket at ringside? I just retweeted that with fuck, hashtag starts doing squats and curls. And then I got my Stevie Richards bands and did squats and curls for 15 minutes. So
thank you.
You guys are.
He's not talking to you. You're not one of them.
Well, dude,
Those are the ones that really like haggle with me about my rate and saying that, you know, also the champion of their promotion. Reason why I want to retire.
Yeah. So, but you guys plague me in the best way and worst way possible. When I look at myself, I go, fat. I am a fat bastard. Rip messed my mind up, but I'm doing the combo, man. I'm trying to hit it on all fronts.
Oh, we're proud of you, man. You've made great strides, and it's a lifelong thing, man. It takes your entire life to really figure anything out, and then you're dead. And hopefully you go somewhere. So that's your inspirational. That's your next inspirational Instagram post. You try to figure this shit out and then you die. So too late, motherfucker. Surprise.
Oh man, good shit. Life sucks and then you die.
Yeah. Enjoy your day.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's your bent. Yeah, pal. Life sucks and then you die.
That's like burying. That's like complaining for the first 2 or 3 minutes of your Instagram TV video, and then telling you, "But you're beautiful. Don't ever doubt that you're beautiful." Right?
Yeah.
Like fuck this world and everybody. And this person pissed me off, and you're beautiful. You don't have to take it.
Yeah. You be a momtrepreneur. Like all of us, you can use the code Stevie5 at. What was it?
ForceUSA.com and DiamondbackFitness.com. It's pretty much what my home gym consists of. If that's too much, or if you're just starting out, go to StevieRichardsFitness.com. 12 and 16-week resistance band training program. Also, the full body workout video is really cool. I think we're going to start shooting the next round of stuff with power bands, which would be very interesting. I'm trying to figure out how they fit. I don't want people to have the paradox of choice. Going there and there's so much stuff they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I like having these are what these are supposed to be, and there's 8 billion people in the world. I haven't touched nearly enough of them with the program, so why bother keep doing the stock market?
Well, I think
putting out new stuff.
We just got to get the program to Joe Biden, and he'll be out there touching them all. So it'll be an easy way to spread it.
Yeah, if we told Joe they can't get away from you if you wrap a band around them.
He's like, I know that.
Okay, yeah. My hairy legs will be around the band doing squats.
Black children love the bands and my hairy legs. They came and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Stevie Richards Fitness."
We need a bigger rib.
Yeah, a bigger rib, dude. What the fuck? But everybody's killing it, man, with the New Year's resolutions, keeping me motivated, especially after the flu. Finally glad to have my strength back, pulling through, have my voice back, and be able to actually lift some weights and do my resistance band workout, man. So join us all, StevieRichardsFitness.com, and post your progress because that shit gets me up and motivated. I try and do the same when I can, and we got so much going on, but I appreciate everybody who is doing that. What else, Stevie? ProWrestlingTees.com/Stevie Richards for your official Stevie Richards fitness gear as well.
Yeah. And also the YouTube channel, of course. Check out that ESPN NFL 2K5 video. Check out the new XFL video. I'm starting to see that it seems like football and video game related content is getting a lot more traction, and we've gained about 1,000 subscribers in just 21 days off of that ESPN thing. So it's all about trying to figure out what you're doing. So like, I'm going to start recording more football content, and Adam Rank from the NFL Network actually agreed to be a regular, guest contributor or whatever to it. It's kind of cool. And right, football players or wrestling fans, it seems more so than less often. So I mean, might have a natural fit there.
We're going to have to start getting our own belts made to hand out to people, like Triple H does. Everybody gets a belt. But I'll belt you in the mouth, infidels, if you don't subscribe to hackerhamin.podbean.com, twitch.tv/conspiracyhorseman, at hackerhamin on Instagram, at bin_Hamin. Don't forget about our hashtag Black History Month promotion. Tweet to at Hamin Media Group using the hashtag Trailblazer. Share one of your favorite podcasts, and we'll be happy to enter you in to win the Rocky Johnson Sr. autograph, thanks to Adam Rivera. All of our producers here at Hamin Media Group, the locker room guys, really enjoyed Strangler Steve and Bello today, on Wednesday doing the two-man booth, and obviously Jargo and Vickery picking up everything on Monday. We got Light the Fuse with Chris Silvio and I coming up to cover AEW, and Joe Jan and I covered the Impact Attack. Colin Wysong and Big Ray on Saturday will have your Smackdown attack review, so appreciate everybody just busting their ass.
Don't forget about Friday.
Oh, Friday, Jargo and Jeff and Stevie with our Hitting the Marks football stuff. The new Horror Junkyard is out. Guys, there's no other place to be except hackerhamin.podbean.com. New Force Order, Star Wars, it's all going down right here. Everything you want us to talk about, just hit us up at Twitter. You guys send us some of the best information before we catch it. And then, if it's usually 2 days later, you don't got to send it because I've seen it 16 times. Here at hackerhamin.podbean.com, infidels. YOLO.